The CLEEN Foundation has tasked the Nigeria Police Force to improve its cooperation with the public for more efficient service delivery. The program manager of the foundation, Chigozirim Okoro, made this known in Abuja while addressing newsmen at the foundation's workshop for police officers. Okoro says the officers will be trained on adherence to basic human rights and global best practices of modern-day policing.
Actually, you see in the community, in the police themselves, we have the good ones and we have the bad ones. And the significance of this kind of workshop is to bring what we have a lot to gain in this workshop, because since the police are involved and the community are involved, so when we interact and the areas that the police hear or do mistake in the community will tell them. Then from the day cannot take their own correction. In the welfare of the police itself, they are not properly taken care of. And they will leave their family and go and guide this community while the families are there who are guiding their family. Like, let me give you an example of the way the policing is being controlled in Nigeria. Like, let me take such example in Kuba Division. I'll give you an example of Kuba Division. Now, when you look at the money government give to run a division in Nigeria, believe me sincerely, you have to pity policeman. The money given to like Kuba Division to run Kuba Division quarterly from the government, it's nothing to write home about. Look at you as Kuba, as big as Kuba. There's no patrol van in Kuba now. So all those small things can lead policemen in some aspect that the community did not expect from them. So they need good welfare, salary structure, all that things.
There are several expectations from this training. If you've been in the country, one of the greatest challenges we have in Nigeria is insecurity, and it also brings to bear the responsibility of the Nigeria Police Force as the lead agency in internal security operations. The police, they have suffered several challenges in recent times, right from the time of the NSAS till date. Nigerians don't trust the police officers that police them or that serve them or that secure them. And so it's part of the reason why we're organizing this training, to begin the process of reorientation of values that are in line with democratic expectations of policing. Okay, so there are several principles that guide democratic policing. And so those principles are part of why we are here. You talk about integrity, you talk about character, you talk about trustworthy, and you also talk about, more like relationship, enhanced relation. For the relationship to even be enhanced, there are certain behavioral changes that has to happen. There are certain institutional changes that has to happen. And so those are part of why we are here. And so 5 or 4 core expectations are here. Out of the 5, let me try and explain 3. So 1 would be the principle of democratic policing would be very clear to them. So we will develop these principles, working with them right here, to think through those principles that they are expected to do, that the police officers are expected to know. And the idea is to ensure that at the end of the day, they go back to their respective communities to better also engage with the police on the part of the PCRC, Police Community Relation Committee, and then for the personnel to be open to this marriage, to this partnership, to also know that they can't really do it alone. Okay, and they need the committee members to actually police wherever they are expected to police or secure. Number 3 is that there are certain human rights, at the core of why we are here. And so, in this part of the world, right violations by policemen is the order of the day. Of course, that was actually what led to NSAS. Okay, and so on the part of the officers, they will get to know these basic human rights, and they are rights because we are human beings. And so you have the right, the usual things that you hear that brings about or that are regarded as violations of rights by policemen in this part, including tattoo on the body, including very minor things. They are just not. And so that is part of why they are here. They will get to learn these basic human rights principles and standards. They are globally known. They are entitled by every human being by the virtue of the fact that you are human.
What is the purpose of the police? Why are they here? And how do we measure how democratic the police is? So from today's training, it shows that the developed countries actually explain the essence of policing is actually to protect life and property, and not just that, but to protect the rights of the people they are protecting. And these rights are embedded in the constitution. So democratic policing is of the essence policing according to the laid down constitution of the country. So how do we bring this out to the communities? This is the main essence why we raised this methodology workshop on democratic policing in local communities, and we had to single-handedly watch out for communities that go through challenges, and the right selection was the Kubwa police station because of the existence of the Kubwa divisional police and the community policing unit, which is the PCRC that's there. The police are members of our society, so training and reforming the police takes lots of process because it requires training and retraining. The essence of bringing the police and the community together is, in essence, to show in case maybe there's a mix-up somewhere that we don't know, for the residents they are policing to share their experience and challenges, and police to also come out and share their own experience or challenges. So with this, maybe going further, this would be used in policy advocacy to find out these are the challenges that we citizens are having with the police, and this is the way forward from consultation, because it feels like most policies being made are abstract in the sense that the people who these policies affect the most are not part of it. So bringing both parties to the table makes this more integrating and cohesive. The reflections here are more like the curriculum should reflect the existing realities. So going through this is actually to get ways that we can feel, okay, I feel this training is outdated and this is the experience, and how do we integrate this into the new training process? The first step should be training them through the recruitment process. So integrating this into the recruitment process would at least lay a foundation on the right path, because if the foundation is wrong at first, we cannot start blaming the head. So if we can start from the recruitment process in training them and laying out the timeline that this is the challenge we are facing as citizens, then we can go from there further and know what next to do. Is it after this recruitment? Does the system affect the police, or the police itself has its own issue?
The workshop relates very, very, very well with my work as a police officer, because it helps me to be more knowledgeable on the principle of democracy policing and how to apply it to be a better police officer. Part of the recruitment process, and we are all individuals. We are all trying hard to make sure that we become a police officers, a better police officers on a daily basis. So I believe my colleagues too are all trying with this type of training, and everybody is trying to do his or her best to this country and to make Nigeria a better place. A training like this is one of the things to make Nigeria police a better police to make Nigeria police officers better officers. And the environment, if we will change, just like they say, change begins with me. As I am being trained, that is why the public are also being trained. So if I am being trained, they are being trained, you are being trained, I believe we all have a different orientation, and this country will be a better place.
The training is excellent. It's not too new. Police is all about training and retraining every day and every time. And with what we're learning here, I think it will enhance our development, alertness, and ensure our relationship with our communities. You set community mental alertness on security perspective. To be specific, Nigeria Police. We are constituted to enforce law and order. And it will pinch whosoever you tell him to do the right thing. It is only when he has that mental alertness and reason with the circumstance that we get to understand what you mean.